singer-songwriter, musician from the Northwest. I grew up in Ellensburg, Washington, and it's kind of it's a cowboy town, and it's a college town, and very rural, and I grew up in the country, but I think I just sort of gravitated towards people that were musicians or, somehow involved in the arts and music. There was also a record store in Ellensburg called Rodeo Records, which was owned by Mark Pickerel, who's also another well-known Northwest singer-songwriter. He played drums in the Screaming Trees early on, and I just remember I was probably about 11 when I met him and just sort of fell in love, and that sort of drew me further into music, and I'd go into the record store every day to see him and to check out new music. And I actually started as a drummer myself when I was about, maybe like 12. I started taking drum lessons and played in a band in high school. It was a punk band, and we always took third place in the Battle of the Bands. So the band broke up, and I was kind of just stuck as a drummer and thought, I'd like to write songs and sing, and so I picked up the guitar probably when I was about 15 or 16. And not too long ago I came across some recordings of me when I was 16 and just starting out, and it was a friend of my dad's who had a recording studio, and so we just went in and recorded some songs, and I sounded terrible. I mean, I probably am a little harder on myself, but I mean, I definitely was not there yet. And so I think it was just from continuing to do it, and then also sort of learning just about myself and my capabilities and pushing it, and always trying to push it and be a little more aggressive, a little less shy, I think is kind of where my voice started to develop more. And I just can't see I did a show a few years back with the Synergia Northwest Orchestra and made some connections there, and when I was trying to think of a way to make this show special and how can I kind of change it up and just kind of make a show with an experience that I haven't presented before, and the strings came to mind, and so I got in touch with them, and we just sort of rolled from there. And then a friend of mine that lives in Vancouver wrote the arrangements, and I think mostly it's just been very exciting for me to realize that that's it, I'm able to take this idea that I'm excited about and want to make happen, and then make it happen, to be able to have the connections and have made the friends that I have over the years and pull from that, and that's been very exciting for me. So one of the ones I was going to play is 3x3, and it's kind of one of those songs that I didn't have a lot of thought process as I was writing it, and you sort of, it comes out and then it's done, and I just kind of look at it and go, okay, I don't know what this is really about. Growing up is hard, and I grew up with ADHD, and so I kind of came up against a lot of walls in school and society, and being told that the way that I do things is incorrect, or feeling like even though I was trying my hardest, it was not good enough, and So I think that's where a lot of my like childhood struggles came from, just that, and having a learning disability that sort of derailed me for a little while, and probably fed into the drinking and things like that. So once I got sober, and all of a sudden I'm an adult, I'm sober, I still have these things, these challenges, but now I feel like I'm able to navigate them, and also just realize that the way that I do things, it may be different than a lot of other people, or the sort of like what's normal, but it works for me. And if it works for me, then it's not wrong. And so it took me a long time to realize that. And I think that song is just a little bit about the lost time, the time I spent sort of ignoring it or numbing myself so I don't have to deal with it, and just how that, looking back at that and kind of missing out on some of that time. This is cool rain pouring. Love can disappear without. Someday sinks the ships are sailing out to the sea. Darkness sends across the faithless leading on to the school system is not set up for these types of learning. It's getting better in some places, but it's very black and white. And especially when I was younger, and then especially even, before that, and when I was diagnosed at 6 years old, there wasn't a lot of, they were kind of learning about it, but more than that, they had just found a thing that worked for it. Like, they're just like, and then we put them on medication, and then it's fine. And they didn't really, up until recently, start, kind of figuring out that, the diet has so much to do with it, that, like, activity, that, there's different ways to approach it to help these kids blossom. The school system, then you grow up just thinking, like, I don't do anything right, like, I'm not a fully functioning human being. But it's so funny, because it is really, I think, at the root of a lot of creativity. And I think once people are kind of able to harness that and channel it creatively, they kind of, their world opens up in a much bigger way, and much bigger than just throwing a medication at it and going, good luck. I do think a lot has been learned about it. A lot is being done about it. It's still, it's still not totally there, but it's getting better, and I think that it's important to acknowledge these sorts of things, because a lot of kids really need the reassurance of that they've got it, like, it's fine. And I just can't see it now. Try to live my life so proud, and I never meant to one of the weirdest compliments I ever got, and this was way back when I was just getting started, and we were at it was sort of like a birthday party, like a house party hangout, and they wanted me to play a song, or some of them did, and so I was playing a song, and I was going to play another one, and the host or whoever it was he told me, your music is really, it's the kind of music that, like, you really need to listen to, like, you really need to focus on. And he was telling me to stop playing, but it was because everybody just wanted to kind of, get drunk and have a good time, and we, saying basically that my music kind of, it deserves an audience that's paying attention. And I, at the time I was kind of like, well, that hurts my feelings, but, since then I've realized that it was a compliment. I mean, even if he didn't mean it as one, he was saying that it's you kind of have to be in the moment. And I think a lot of people too, after shows, will tell me that, they cried. I made them cry, or gave them chills, or, which to me means everything, because that's what I'm hoping for, is some kind of reaction, some kind of feeling, not just music you put on in the background, but that you actually can relate back to your own life and your own experiences, and then feel something. He's awesome. He's the best road dog, and he's also he's very cute. So people really like to see him at shows. It's gotten to the point where if I go to a show without him, there are disappointed people, and a lot of people are like, "Where's Forrest? Like, why didn't you bring Forrest?" I'm like, "Well, he's at home with Grandma," and they're like, "Well, I guess we'll stay and watch you play." And but he's definitely kind of become a huge part of what I do. He sleeps on the stage a lot of times when I play. He'll sleep in the guitar case, and sometimes they'll bring him toys or treats. They'll bring treats to the show.